I told him I had a plan. I'm gonna do this, this, and that. And I stuck to the plan. I said, I'm gonna see you last. I didn't lie. I just stuck to what I felt in my spirit and what to do. You know, and that's what I did.
And I think you're good at what you do. You know, all that, like, yeah, it's good. I like it.
I just, like I said, I seen him picking up steam. Like, he was, you know, making noise. And I felt like he got to the point where, like, it's time to run it, you know? I feel like he's coming into his own. I am myself. And I felt like it was the perfect time.
Stronger than me? No, you weren't strong. You punched up.
Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn went head-to-head in an intense face-off that almost erupted into an all-out brawl, building even more tension ahead of their explosive September 12th showdown in Las Vegas.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be one of those things where it's like butter. I cut him off and boom. You're gonna see, like, it's gonna be one of those performances that people will be like, all right, Ryan's here. He's here to stay, and he definitely made it clear that he's not somebody to play with.
Like a master
Especially
class.
as a world champion. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those vintage knockouts. You know, remember I said my last fight is gonna be a you know, RG classic. This is gonna be a throwback RG where he gets knocked out cold.
Left hook?
I don't know. You'll see.
You're saying about 5th round, right? That's what you were feeling?
5 rounds.
Benn is just as confident in what he can deliver when fight night arrives, entering the matchup with the same aggressive mindset that has fueled his rise. Instead of merely responding to Garcia's prediction, he has a strong belief in exactly how he expects the fight to play out.
I don't plan on this fight going the distance. I plan on going in there and getting a stoppage, for sure.
Is there anything tactically, without giving too much away, that
I'm just going to go in there and do what I do, which is plant one on his chin and try and put him.
Garcia, though, believes that Benn's aggressive approach could work against him if the fight starts moving into the later rounds. He expects some weaknesses to become increasingly exposed as the bout progresses, giving him another reason to feel confident heading into the matchup.
Man, it's gonna be real ugly for you. You're gonna hope it ends in 5 and below like I'm predicting. You're gonna hope, because if it goes any longer and you get tired like you did Rodriguez and you start getting sloppy, I'm not no Regis, brother. I'm gonna spank you, and it's gonna be like I took off a belt, I put water on it, and I slap you in the face with it. Like, it's gonna, ow, ow. It's gonna be bad.
Why the water then?
Because it makes it pow harder.
In response to Garcia's bold prediction, Benn is showing a completely different level of confidence. Instead of getting caught up in the pre-fight exchanges, he remains focused on his preparation, believing that the work he has put in behind the scenes will ultimately separate them once they step into the ring.
He spoke to Mike Coppinger last Friday, and he said he'll be disappointed if it goes the distance and he doesn't stop you inside 5 rounds. Yeah, do you feel like he's overlooking you, or any response to what he said there?
I don't care what he's doing. Yeah. Like, it makes no difference. He can carry on doing what he's doing. It don't concern me at all. All I know is that I'm working extremely hard to come out victorious. And no doubt I'll be looking for the stoppage myself. No doubt.
Yeah. Do you think you break him in there?
I think I'll stop him, yeah.
Garcia, however, views Benn's confidence from another angle, wondering if his recent victories have really prepared him for the level of opponent he is about to face. He believes the gap in experience and technical skill could become more significant as the fight finds its rhythm. In Garcia's eyes, that difference could ultimately have a major impact on how the entire matchup unfolds.
Into that a little too much. I mean, if you watch the fights, look, he won them, but there's nothing that I see in any of those fights that makes me believe that he's at this level. And I think that there's going to be a clear distinction on, you know, on the difference in experience, talent, and just levels of boxing in the ring. You know, he's going to be getting hit with punches he usually doesn't get hit with. He's going to see a lot of the attempts he does. It's not going to work. You know, all he has is conditioning, I guess, and even when he has conditioning, he starts throwing sloppy in the...
Beyond their differing predictions, Benn also has the demanding task of making 147 pounds after spending 4 years away from the division. He understands the discipline needed to reach that limit and considers this his final fight at welterweight before moving up to 154 pounds and potentially even higher.
It's brutal. This is my last fight at 147.
Your last fight, what?
This is my last fight at 147. When I win the world title, I'll move on. But for me, yeah, I haven't made 147 for 4 years, so it's challenging. Don't get me wrong, it's really hard. You think I went up to 183 pounds for the Eubank fights, you know, so it's hard, but, you know, we're getting it done.
Yeah. So after this fight, we'll be going up to 154 pounds then?
154, 160, 160.
Moving past the pre-fight predictions, Ben is choosing to focus primarily on his own performance instead of placing too much importance on Garcia's previous bouts. His confidence is rooted in the preparation he has completed and the level he expects himself to reach when fight night arrives. For Ben, everything outside of that remains secondary.
When you see him finish fights like that, does that give you confidence when you talk about yourself putting in 110%?
No, I mean, I just, like, I don't think about what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I just focus on being the best fighter I can be, making sure that I'm in the best nick when I go into the fight. And when I see an opportunity to knock him out, I'm going to take it.
Max Kellerman views Garcia's natural talent as one of the most fascinating elements of this matchup. He believes that rare ability can become even more dangerous when it is backed by the discipline needed to compete at the highest level. That combination could determine how much of Garcia's true potential is displayed against Ben. Kellerman also points to what he calls the curse of the gifted, explaining that highly talented fighters sometimes feel they do not need to work as hard as others.
Has the curse of the gifted. He's very gifted, and so he does not need to work as hard as other people.
He gotta work hard.
But what I'm saying is, no. What I'm saying is, when you get the guy who's the most talented and he works the hardest, you're talking about Michael Jordan. There are very few of those guys. You're talking about Floyd Mayweather. No. You're talking about Bud Crawford. You're talking about the best of the best.
Taking a far more decisive stance, Paulie Malignaggi believes there is a clear gap between Garcia and Ben when it comes to overall boxing ability. He expects Garcia's skills to become especially difficult to handle if he enters the fight completely focused and performs at his highest level. In his view, this matchup gives Garcia a chance to prove exactly where he belongs in the boxing landscape.
Ryan knocks him out. The fight doesn't go 6 rounds, in my opinion. Ryan knocks him out.
Why is that? Is that the disparity in skill?
Yeah, I mean, disparity in skill, disparity in power. I don't think Conor Benn's that good, bro. I mean, I think it's obvious he's not that good, but, you know, Ryan Garcia is a very good fighter. You know, when he's motivated and he's pushing himself, and I think, you know, as a champion, Ryan will understand the responsibility on his shoulders as well to elevate his game. He's already at a very good level. He's already a very good fighter, but this fight is an opportunity for him to make a statement because he's fighting a guy who's got a big name, but also a guy who probably doesn't belong in the ring with him. And so I think he's got a chance to do something of a statement in this fight by getting, you know, a massive destructive type of victory. And I think that's probably...
Looking at Garcia's recent development, Keith Thurman believes his offense is starting to rely less on one particular weapon. He sees a more complete attacking arsenal taking shape, giving Garcia additional ways to create openings and put opponents under pressure. That ongoing growth could bring another dangerous dimension to Garcia's game against Ben.
We'll see, man, because, you know, a left hook is still a left hook. You know, Ryan does have that left hook. I mean, Tank said, all you got is that left hook. That's what Tank said back in the day. You know, all you got is that left hook, you know. But we've seen Ryan drop people not just with left hooks to the chin, but left hooks to the body. And I think he landed a straight right on Mario Barrios early on in the last fight. Yeah. So you know, maybe he's learning to develop that hand to be a lethal weapon as well. You know, what I love about these younger guys is as they continue to fight, they really have that room to improve.
Shifting the focus to Ben, Keith Thurman recognizes his physical strength and aggressive approach as major factors that cannot be ignored. However, he questions how effectively that style will work once the technical demands rise against a more polished opponent. That contrast is exactly what makes Ben's upcoming test so important and revealing.
Rhino ain't nothing but a charging bull full of muscle, you know what I mean? And I'm still scared of rhinos, so like, it's not that it's not that it's not that it's a guaranteed loss for a fighter of that type of caliber, right? It's not a guaranteed loss, but at the highest level, you will run into skillful opposition, and but it's going to be interesting. I don't think that the Ryan that fought Rolly was the real Ryan.
Floyd Schofield Jr. gives the edge to Garcia because he believes Garcia brings more variety to his overall game. At the same time, he acknowledges that both fighters carry enough offensive power to change the momentum instantly if either one finds the right opening. That balance leaves Schofield unsure about exactly how the fight will ultimately be decided.
Team Golden Boy. I like Conor Benn. No disrespect to Conor Benn. I just think Ryan has more attributes to his game. I do think, though, if Conor Benn catches him with a nice shot, some nice flurries, it could be a change of that fight. Almost something similar to that Rolly fight. Just a little more, Conor Benn has a little more pressure. But I'm going with Ryan for that fight.
Yeah, you feel like he stops him?
It could. Like I said, boxing is boxing. Anybody can stop anybody. So do I favor a knockout over decision? No. But I do think Ryan possesses the power and the speed to catch him with a nice shot just as much as Conor.
Floyd Schofield Jr. is not willing to overlook what Benn brings into this matchup. He believes Benn's physical strength and constant forward pressure could create difficult moments, especially while Garcia is still trying to establish his rhythm. That uncertainty is exactly why Schofield continues to view Benn as a serious threat, even though he gives Garcia the advantage.
You can't count Conor Benn out. Conor Benn is a champion. I mean, he's a world-class fighter. He has some skill, he has power, he has speed, and he has aggression. Something that we've seen with Ryan, that Ryan sometimes can't, it takes him a while to get adjusted to that. So we can't count Conor out. I mean, that'd be disrespectful to a fighter like Conor. We just have to see come fight night who's a better man. And like I said, I favor Ryan, but I mean, Conor does have a big chance at winning the fight.
Duke McKenzie takes a much stronger stance in favor of Garcia in this debate. He considers Garcia's growth and experience against higher-level opposition to be significant advantages, while questioning whether Benn can match him technically or physically at 147 pounds. In McKenzie's view, defeating Garcia could demand more than the strengths Benn normally relies on.
Even his A-game, I'm not so sure, would beat Ryan Garcia, because Garcia is a much improved champion now. Since getting that belt wrapped around his waist, I think he's a much improved champion. He's mixed at a higher level. All right, he hasn't won all of his fights, Garcia, but he's beaten some quality fighters that are much better than Conor Benn. I mean, Conor's done a great job in terms of A, getting paid, and B, talking himself into a world title fight. I don't know who does that. I don't know who's done that previously, but he's managed to do it. Now, for him to beat Ryan Garcia, it will take more than just, it's going to take more than just boxing skill, and it's going to take more than just a big punch. I don't think Conor Benn's going to be physically strong enough, because I think he'd be weight drained. I'm not making excuses for him, you understand?
Spencer Oliver considers Benn's return to 147 pounds one of the biggest question marks heading into the fight. He highlights Benn's stronger performances at higher weights and wonders whether dropping back down could impact his effectiveness inside the ring. For Oliver, that physical adjustment could be just as crucial as the tactical battle he faces against Garcia.
Has he got a built-in excuse, which basically means, and am I being cynical here, because he won't be thinking like this as a fighter, but if he goes down to 147 and Ryan Garcia deals with him, he can turn around and say, I was washed out of this fight at this weight. I thought I could do it. I can't. Notwithstanding it, I had a go. And does he still retain credibility if Garcia does him early?
Of course he does, because that's what we're all talking about. Conor Benn not being able to make 147. We saw Eddie Hearn saying it recently. The 147 is the thing that will beat Conor Benn. So of course he's got a get out clause, because straight away I'm coming back at 154. That's where I'm going to be stronger, because the best we've ever seen Conor Benn look, whether it was a weight drained, people say washed up Chris Eubank or not, when you looked at that, Conor Benn was entertaining in both of those fights. He showed us a lot of character there, but that was what, at 160. We're talking about
Abel Sanchez, however, believes there is far less separating the two fighters. Garcia's consistency remains a concern, while Benn's return to 147 pounds creates its own set of uncertainties. According to Sanchez, the fighter who handles those variables more effectively could ultimately gain the advantage.
You know, that's an interesting fight. It's two guys that have been talking a lot, I guess. Ryan has just had a great fight with Barrios. He looked very good, but then he didn't look so good against Rolly. So it depends on which Garcia shows up. I think Ben coming down, hopefully he's doing it correctly. It doesn't weaken him. I look for a late knockout actually in this fight. Either way, I'm not picking one guy or the other because if the right Conor Benn shows up weight-wise, then he could be too strong for Garcia. But if Garcia cracks him, he can hit. So it's a 50.
Timothy Bradley points to one major reason Ben should not be underestimated: the danger he presents when the exchanges become physical. He believes Ben's punching power could force Garcia to fight more cautiously, especially considering past moments when powerful opponents have taken him out of his comfort zone. That could create a tactical opportunity Ben may be able to capitalize on.
Now he's fighting against an orthodox fighter, not a southpaw, you know, and Ryan Garcia, a guy that I feel that is somewhat get a little bit spooked by punching power, right? Right? Didn't we see that with the Rolly fight? You know?
Rolly at that.
Yeah, exactly. Rolly at that. Yeah. I mean, Ben can punch.
Or if Rolly gets through, he can hurt you.
Yeah.
Rolly has heavy hands.
But also, I think Conor Benn at the same time, I think he can punch as well. I mean, you heard Reach's program after the fight. Look at his face. He said that, hey, he punches hard. But hey, I wanted to be in the fight. I wanted to be here, and that's the reason why I was able to take his shots. But, you know, I think it's a different style moving forward.
Are you saying that you don't think he's going to get up for the Ryan?
No, he's going to get up for the fight. I'm just saying I'm not going to use that as an excuse of him not performing.
Yeah, but you know what? Wait a minute, Tim.
I think he knew what he was supposed to do. He knew the assignment. The assignment was to get him out of there, and he didn't.
Timothy Bradley believes both fighters face serious danger because their strengths are likely to clash directly. Ben's pressure, toughness, and powerful right hand could push Garcia into difficult exchanges. At the same time, Garcia has a major weapon of his own that can disrupt Ben's approach, making the result dependent on which fighter can establish his offense without exposing himself to the opponent's biggest threat.
I believe it's not going the distance. I think somebody's going to get knocked out. I think both their styles, when you match them up, like I told you early on, you got Ben, who can punch, right? And anybody that can punch always tends to put Ryan on the defense, right? We haven't seen that scary shell. Remember, Barrios couldn't punch like that, you know, when he turns his back like this and going that scary shell.
Luke Campbell dropped him too.
Luke Campbell dropped him. But I feel like
Luke Campbell, Olympic gold medalist, by the way.
Yes. I feel like Ben has a chance because he has a right hand, good right hand, a strong right hand. I think the pressure that he puts on
he has an engine.
Well, yeah, he keeps going, and you see the will that he has.
Conor's mental is strong. Yeah.
He's mentally strong. However, look, if he gets past that left hook, he got to get past that left hook.
Teofimo Lopez makes the case for Ben from another perspective, emphasizing his ability to deal with adversity rather than focusing solely on technique. He has been impressed by how Ben has responded to difficult performances by coming back with greater determination instead of letting setbacks define his career. That resilience keeps Lopez open to the possibility of Ben pulling off an upset.